This is the future of motoring.
And that's certainly not because of the way it looks, because it looks just like a car. There's more normality too.
It doesn't drive itself, doesn't levitate. This is remarkably like driving around in a Honda.
What the Clarity is an electric car, but it's nothing like the Tesla that Jeremy drove earlier. In fact, it's nothing like any electric car we've ever seen before.
The front wheels are driven by a perfectly normal electric motor, but there are no batteries. Instead, this car has its own on-board electricity generating station, and that takes the form of a hydrogen fuel cell. At the back of the car is a fuel tank, exactly where you'd expect it to be, but instead of filling it with petrol or diesel, it is filled with compressed hydrogen. Now, this hydrogen is combined with oxygen from the air in the fuel cell, and in a rather complicated and boring way, that makes electricity. That electricity is then used to drive the electric motor, which turns the front wheel, like it might do in a perfectly normal front-wheel drive car, and the whole process is controlled by the whole process is controlled by a box of electronics under the bonnet where the engine would normally be. And that really is all there is to it.
At the moment, the Clarity is only available in California. So I decided to ask an ordinary California motorist what he thought of it. Mind you, this chap does seem to like his cars. He's American talk show host Jay Leno. Out that Jay, like me, is a fan of the Clarity, not just because it's clever, but because it might just be the saviour of all the amazing gas guzzlers in here.
Car enthusiasts that think, oh, this is going to be awful. No, it won't. It'll save the petrol, it'll save your MG or your Sprite or your Midget, whatever you have, and you go out in the weekend, you have fun,
Exactly.
and then you put this in the car park during the week.
Much like the automobile was the savior of the horse. You know, in the cities, at least in America, horses would be whipped and they'd drop dead. And then when the car came along, it freed up the horse to be used for recreational purposes and just the beauty of the animal, whatever you want to call it. And I think these type of cars would be the savior of our sports cars, our MGs, Porsches, things like that.
You know how the Toyota Prius is the sort of darling of Hollywood? It's a fashion statement.
But you know why? Because it has the moral superiority. With the Prius, you can go, look, I am driving an unattractive car because I am saving the planet. See, in America, we like everyone to know about the good work we're doing anonymously.
I'm absolutely convinced that the Clarity is the most important car for 100 years. And there's a very good reason for that.
One day, we will, sadly, run out of oil, and then we'll need something else. Now, electric cars have always seemed very promising, but as long as they're powered by batteries, they don't quite cut it. I mean, think of all the people down there driving around. We've built our lives around the car as we know it. You get in, you drive as far as you want to go, you fill up, you drive some more. That is the freedom that a petrol-powered car gives you. If its replacement is something that goes for 10 yards and then takes 4 hours to bring back to life, we'll have gone backwards.
The Clarity, though, is different. It fits the life we already have. The reason it's the car of the future is because it's just like the car of today.